If you're an entrepreneur, there's a huge lesson you can learn from Johnny Depp's defamation trial. Check out this video to find out more. I'm Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and if you're wondering why I look this way, well, I'm on vacation to Guatemala right now. To the topic of this video, what's the big lesson that you can learn from Johnny Depp's versus Amber Heard's defamation trial? Well, what you'd notice is that out of all people who've been following the lawsuit and who've been spending time watching the reports and reading reports and watching the out-of-court recordings and comments, all of that stuff, all of these people, you can easily break them down into two groups. There's one big group and one much smaller group. And no, I don't mean the group that support Johnny Depp and people who support Amber Heard. If there is that breakdown, but that's not what this video is about. In fact, it's the same two groups that you'd notice if you look at things like the COVID arguments, right? Whether you need vaccine or you don't need it, or whether you want masking or you don't want masking, it's the same type of arguments that you see from every time there's a school shooting. It's the same argument you would see when you talk about the war between Russia and Ukraine. It's pretty much the same two groups you see when there's something happening out there that takes a long time and a lot of people are chiming in with their opinions. The same two groups, no matter what this is about. Can you guess what I'm talking about? If you can't, here's my answer. There's a very small group, tiny sliver out of people who follow these, who monetize on them, who make money, who build their audiences, who get thousands of people to watch their YouTube channels, to subscribe, and who send donations, or who, in case of COVID, who were selling masks, who were selling their sanitizers and all of that other stuff, right? With anything out there, you either take advantage of the situation and do whatever you're looking for, right? It could be audiences, could be increasing your trust and credibility, it could be making money, it could be creating products that you sell to the public, it could be really anything that is entrepreneurial, right? You take advantage of the situation and you make the most out of it. There's a huge group of people just wasting their time on following and who are being sold to by the sliver, by the tiny little group. If you're an entrepreneur, and if you see a situation like this pop up, right, and they always do, right, you can either treat it as a distraction, as it is for the most of us, because really, again, going back to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, do you really care which one of them won the lawsuit? Like, what does it change in your life? Nothing. What does you knowing that Johnny Depp got 10 mil and Amber got 2 mil, what does that change in your life? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What does it change that the lawyer representing one side, right, that you may have taken preference over lawyers on the other side? What does it change in your life? Nothing, right? And especially with a verdict like that, and they took full advantage of it being televised, of it being out there. The rates are going to go up. They're great. They're doing great. Everyone who was just following without any personal reason in it, it was just a big distraction. And look, I am personally to blame for it. Really, that's the reason for this video, because I realized that I've spent hours and hours and hours watching these reports, and I'm like, why am I watching this? I could be spending this exact time working on my business, working on Trademark Factory, maybe starting a different business, right? Instead, I was just sitting there glued to my YouTube screen and just watching and listening to some people comment. And again, complete waste of time, just as it was a complete waste of time for me to spend time trying to figure out how our rights are being taken away and, with the whole pandemic situation. But again, this video is not about politics, because whatever your politics, if you can't influence the politics and you can't monetize on the current politics, don't give in to the distraction. Don't waste time following, because it's not going to change your life one way or the other at all. So the big lesson, if you can't monetize and if you can't figure out a way to monetize the public interest, because look, there are channels out there who've gained tens, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers as a result of Johnny Depp, as a result of Canadian protests in Ottawa, in pretty much anything out there. There are people who see this as an opportunity. They go out there, they go full on, and as a result, they gain their followers, they gain their donations, and they can build upon that. When dust has settled, the smoke has cleared, the event is no longer there, but they keep their followers, right? That's one way to do it. And everyone else, when the whole thing is over, all you have left is just wasted time, right? Because you could have just as easily read about the result when it happened, spent 5 minutes on it, and kept going with your life. So you can treat it as sports, right? You can follow the game from beginning to an end and feel great about it, but don't be mistaken. This is just entertainment that takes time away from you being able to work in your business, do something great, and if you can't monetize on it, you have to be very deliberate about spending time on this, especially if it takes a lot of your time. And when I say, well, you could be doing something else for your business, there's a million other things you could be doing for your business, right? You could be figuring out how to get more clients. You could be figuring out how to improve your product or your service so that more clients want this. You can be working on your marketing. You could be working on your branding. You could be working on building your team so that the business runs without you, so you can be on vacation to Guatemala while the team is working on serving your clients. And one of the things you could be thinking of is, if you're building a brand for your business and if you haven't trademarked it yet, well, that's what Trademark Factory can help you with. You know what to do, right? Follow the link in the description, book a call with one of our strategy advisors, and they'll be able to help you trademark your brand with a guaranteed result for a guaranteed budget. So that's your lesson. You will be getting a lot of these events in the next year, in the next few years. They will be thrown at you because that's what the media is doing. They're throwing all this crap at you, hoping that you will be paying them with the most valuable currency that you've got, your attention. That's what they live on, because if you don't give them your attention, they don't get paid. So that's what they're doing, right? They're creating all these events. Well, I mean, the events obviously happen, but the mass hysteria around it about how crucially important for you to know exactly who said what on what day on the trial, which politician does what, all of this is going to be put your way. And really from there, you have 4 things you can do about it. 1, you can jump on the bandwagon and figure out how to monetize it, right? Make that your business. That's your option number 1. If you can't figure out how to do that, or you don't want to do that, then you have really 3 options. 1 is you can be drawn in as a spectator and, just waste your time to think that you're part of it, except you're part of it just like when you go to a theater, right? You just sit there and you watch. That's really all your participation. Your 3rd option is to just ignore it and do nothing. You don't spend the time to watch it, but you don't really use the time that you've saved by not watching it on anything useful. And your last opportunity, of course, is that you don't get drawn into watching this, and instead use this time to build your business, maybe build a new business. And that's what true entrepreneurs do. So they either monetize on the situation, or they use the time to work on their other business opportunities. Now, really, the choice is yours. Put in the comments, really, if Johnny Depp lawsuit distracted you from building your business, or again, put it in the comments if you found a way to monetize this situation or any other situation similar to this. I'd be curious to know, and I read all comments and I reply to them. So if you like this video, like it. If you like this video even more, make sure you subscribe. And there's a lot of videos that I'm planning to do on my vacation trail. Again, if there's anything you wanted to know about trademarks, about intellectual property, about entrepreneurship, put in a comment below and I'll shoot a video for you. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.